welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. And as you can see, we're going to take a bit of a detour from Real Housewives of anything at this point, and we are now moving back into an update that is associated with Smokey Robinson. As you know, he has had some allegations brought up against him. I did do a video on that, as well as an update to that situation in which those allegations then turn into an investigation. So I do have a couple of videos on the platform. If you have not had the opportunity to take a listen and a watch to those videos to get the details and updates on that. Well, the next update is, well, it's about two of them actually. Now, one real legitimate update to what's currently going on, and then the other one, apparently a sharing that was brought back to life after some years now at this point, but doesn't have any bearing on the current allegations that he's facing at this point. Now, as a response to the current allegations that he is going up against, which I think is 3 to 4 maybe past employees of SA related situations and allegations, he has now placed a $500 million defamation lawsuit. He has filed that. That's what's being reported. So we're going to cover that, as well as apparently there was a 2015 allegation that was then determined insufficient as far as moving forward with it, and therefore it did not continue in the light of day. I was not aware of that. Maybe you have been aware of that previous accusation. So we're going to go ahead and get into that one as well. But again, has no bearing on what is currently going on. And I do believe it is a closed situation from that situation. So whether they could bring it up later on as any kind of a what you would call what is that, like a consistent thing that could take place or whatever, I don't think that would be much bearing to do that, because the allegation is an allegation until something is made it to be more than that. So at this point, since it's closed and done and over with, it's now behind us. But because it has been brought back up, we're going to go ahead and dive into that quick sharing and find out what was about that and what was up with that. And then we're going to go ahead and then round off the video with going through the $500 million defamation lawsuit that he has filed as the update to the current situation that he finds himself in at this time. So with that, go ahead and sit back and relax, and let's go ahead and get into it. And of course, this first sharing is coming to us by way of, I believe, NBC. Yes, NBC News. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, according to NBC News, says Smokey Robinson was accused of SA in 2015, but officials had insufficient evidence for charges. This is what the DA had shared. So the allegations presented to prosecutors by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department a decade ago are not part of a civil suit against the Motown legend that he's currently in right now. Now, assault allegation was made against Motown legend Smokey Robinson in 2015, but no charges were filed because of insufficient evidence. Now, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office has shared this. The decade-old allegation, which was presented to the prosecutor's office by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, is not connected to a recent civil suit that accuses Robinson of SA attorneys for the plaintiffs in that matter, said. Now, Robinson, 85, has not been charged with any crime and has denied any misconduct. The celebrity news website TMZ was first to report the 2015 investigation on Friday. Now, we discovered that our office was presented with an SA allegation against Mr. Robinson in 2015 by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, the district attorney's office said in a statement on Friday. In that matter, a declination of charges was made based on insufficient evidence, the district attorney's office said. We are not able to provide further information at this time because of an ongoing law enforcement investigation. Now, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department confirmed that it conducted an investigation and that no charges were ever filed. Due to the confidential nature of the investigation, we cannot provide more information, says the Sheriff's Department in a statement on Friday. Earlier this month, Robinson was sued by 4 former housekeepers who have accused the You've Really Got a Hold on Me singer of SA. The suit, which seeks at least $50 million, also names Robinson's wife and accused her of knowing about the allegations. Now, Robinson has denied the claims and this week countersued the 4 women and their attorneys, alleging defamation and seeking at least $500 million. Attorney Christopher Frost, who is representing Robinson and his wife, said his client maintains his innocence. Now, one unfortunate aspect of celebrity is that it is not uncommon to be the target of spurious and substantiated allegations, Frost said. Mr. Robinson looks forward to the conclusion of the current investigation and has no doubt that a similar determination will be reached here. Attorneys for the women suing Robinson said Friday that the declination of the criminal case in 2015 and only means that there was a lack of evidence. Now, the person who made the allegation in 2015 is not any of the four women who are suing Robinson, according to the attorneys John Harris and Herbert Hayden. The statement released by the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office confirms that charges were not filed against Mr. Robinson due to insufficient evidence, not because the claims lacked merit, Harris and Hayden said. This underscores the significant challenges victims face when reporting incidents of SA, particularly when the alleged perpetrator is a powerful and well-known figure, they said. Now, on May 15, NBC News had reported that Robinson is under criminal investigation, citing a law enforcement source that it did not name. Now, Robinson is an iconic American soul singer who has had a star-studded career spanning more than 70 years. The recording, producing, and songwriting legend was a pioneer for Motown Records, founding the vocal group The Miracles in the 1950s and later releasing albums as a solo artist and working as a record executive for the label. He was inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame in 1987. Wow. So there you have it. That was the past allegation being basically addressed because at some point, I'm sure it was brought up and people were interested in knowing, probably, the interest of the people, if you say, if, this was going to be at all connected to what the current allegations are at this point. And even if it was someone that was, filing in this suit as well. And it turns out neither is the case. Of course, the district attorney says there was not enough evidence to, move forward with charging. And of course, the lawyers on I believe would be the lawyers on the side of the females who are, suing, basically say, hey, look, it just means that they, didn't have enough evidence, but doesn't mean that there was no merit to it. So, come see, come saw. The bottom line is, charges were not filed in that situation. So for this time being, there is nothing more to move forward with on that. And now the focus does remain just on the current civil suit of the four former employees that are alleged SA of Robinson. And now we're focusing on that, as well as his countersuit of the $500 million lawsuit against them and their lawyers. So love to know your thoughts on that particular part. So make sure you're dropping those down in the comment section below. And we're going to move on over to the actual defamation lawsuit that he has now filed in response to these claims that he basically says he is innocent of. So let's go ahead and get into that. And we are getting this sharing by way of Newsbreak and the Grape Juice. And yes, let's go ahead and get into that. It shares that Smokey Robinson fires off $500 million defamation suit against ex-employees for fabricated R claims. Now, Smokey Robinson has unleashed a fiery legal clapback at the four former housekeepers who claimed he R'd them. For the Motown legend and his wife have been formally filed a defamation lawsuit against the Quad. And while their $50 million suit, which included allegations of elder abuse at the hands of Smokey's wife, has seen as a colossal, the hitmaker's legal rebuttal towers 10 times taller. Moments ago, Robinson and his wife filed a $500 million countersuit against the women at the Los Angeles Superior Court. Their legal said the Robinsons did not abuse, harm, or take advantage of plaintiffs. They treated plaintiffs with the utmost kindness and generosity. Unfortunately, the depths of plaintiffs' avarice and greed knows no bounds. Further blasting the fabricated claims, the Robinsons' lawyer, Christopher Frost, claimed the women first attempted to secure a $100 million payout in exchange for their silence. When that did not work, it's alleged that they proceeded with their lawsuit. Now, adding further context to the countersuit, it's claimed that not only is there a monetary motivation from the women, but it's suggested that they engaged in unscrupulous practices while working for the star. Now, shortly after the plaintiffs left their jobs, Ms. Robinson discovered that several of her financial records, including bank statements, were missing. The 10-claim countersuit says at least one plaintiff had access to and knew exactly where these records were kept. As a result of their roles as household staff, they had particular knowledge of where the Robinsons' valuables were kept, including a hidden safe and gold congregants. Krugerrands. That safe and the valuables it contained and several gold Krugerrands were later stolen by someone who knew precisely where they were located. The Robinsons reported the theft to the police. Now, the news comes after it was confirmed that Robinson is under criminal investigation for those allegations, which again, I shared a video on that previously, which is actually the last video that I shared maybe about a week ago. So definitely check that out for details. His attorney publicly pondered the timing as it's claimed that the Jane Does began engaging in the potential criminal proceedings after filing their civil suit. So a little bit more provided there as well. We didn't know, obviously, but now it is placed in the countersuit by Smokey's wife, sharing that there's documentation and stuff that has been stolen or taken and removed, and who else would have had opportunity. So it's being alleged that it may have been them, the ladies that were the former employees, along with the defamation suit, encompassing all of due to the allegations they said that are fabricated. So at this point, they're continuing to duke it out to see who really rises on top. As they said, $50 million lawsuit from the individuals, and now is being trumped by $500 million defamation lawsuit as a counter clapback from the Robinsons. And I guess we will see who will actually win out on this. So I'm definitely going to be continuing to keep up with the updates regarding this case and how it's moving along. And I will certainly be sharing that with you. So be on the lookout for that as well. And I think that'll about do it for this particular update. I definitely want to know your thoughts. So be sure you drop those down, especially in the comment section, so I can know where you're at and what you're feeling about this particular situation, both areas, if you will. Would be nice to know what your thoughts are on that. And of course, I will be dropping another video later on, and I definitely want to make sure that you're here for that. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new here and haven't had an opportunity to, and become part of the family, because I would love to have you. And make sure you have your all notification bells on so you don't miss my uploads. And again, like I said, I will be dropping one here in a few hours this evening, so I definitely want to make sure that you tune into that and let me know your thoughts on that, because I'm going to share mine. And so therefore, thank you so much again for being here and taking some time to hang out with me. I'm going to bid you adieu on this video, but again, I will be seeing you later. So until then, you take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye.